right? Yeah, you know what? Laurie and I have taught a couple of classes together, and one thing that people had heard that I really liked is they'd say, you know, you guys have a good chemistry together. And I think we do. We're a lot of like in our seriousness of yoga, and that, you know, we take it seriously. This is our vocation. It's our passion. But we also like different things about it. So in this video, we just want to share a little bit with you about how we're different, because we are so excited that we're working together. We feel that it's the best balance, like we're both bringing our passions and balancing one another out, right?
I would agree.
Yeah. So what I love, you know, I love the physical. I love a vigorous vinyasa class with long holds. And I love the philosophy. I love to weave the philosophy into my vinyasa classes. I love to weave the subtle anatomy. Subtle anatomy is things like chakras and vayus, working with the energetic body into the physical. So as much as I love the physical, I love the extra element. Can I say the metaphysical?
Sure.
Yeah, like the yamas and the niyamas. For me, you know, I will say the thing that brought me to yoga actually was this. And it's so funny because I think it must have worked, because I had forgotten about that initial intention for years. Until one day I was listening to an interview with a yogi, and she said that she had an issue with OCD. But I know that I went through a period of my life where I really struggled with that. Hand washing, fear of chemicals and things like this. And it just became overwhelming to me. And I thought that yoga might help me, because I felt that it would help me learn to control those impulses in my mind that were not working for me at all. And it must have worked, because in a way, I like forgot that I even struggled with it. I mean, I'm still like a checker, you know, I'm still a very careful person, but it doesn't overwhelm my life the way it used to. So I think that for me, learning how my mind worked, learning tools that would help me work with how my mind worked was really important. And I love sharing that. I love sharing that and learning more about it constantly. So I love the philosophy, I do love the asana, but I love the subtle anatomy. I love the way yoga works with my life on not just the physical, but also the spiritual and the mental level as well.
And I came to yoga in a very different path, a way that I think an awful lot of people do, looking for strength, flexibility, and balance. In fact, pretty much all of the people that I know, and most of my students, that's what they originally come for, okay? I believe that most people, when they first come into yoga, it's for the physical benefits, strength, flexibility, balance. Later on, when someone is skillfully weaving in those other things, you learn that there's a lot more to yoga than that. But that's, I mean, I love that. I am, like I said, I'm an anatomy nerd. I'm fascinated by anatomy. I'm fascinated by how things work together. Because that's one thing you learn in yoga. You might think, oh, I'm just working on my hamstrings. No, it's all connected. It's all connected. And once you start to see it, very many of us do not accept our own bodies. The more you get into yoga and the hatha, the part of it, the more you start to see the miraculous thing that your body is and the way it works together. And it's amazing. You just really start to, I would say, appreciate more than criticize. And that's one of the things I really like.
There's two places where we really learn how wonderful the differences are in our bodies. Number one would be yoga class. Number two, I was just in Portland. Do you know where I went with my daughter?
I do not.
I went to a clothing optional beach.
Oh, well.
My option was to keep my clothing on. But boy, oh boy, did I learn a little bit about Not that I looked, but you know, all these bodies are so wonderful, and they're all so different, darn it. And what you're saying is we come to the mat and we learn how our differences actually create this unique person that we are. And I think that for me, that like looking at the doshas or the chakras are ways that mentally we're learning what interesting and unique people that we are. You know, when you study like the doshas, for example, which is an Ayurvedic term that talks about the different elements in our body and how it creates our personalities, you start to learn that, you know, some of these things that I've been struggling with for years, they're not weaknesses. They're not weaknesses at all. They're what make me unique, and along with that comes some strengths. Yeah, yes, there's challenges in having a lot of fire in our personality. There's challenges to having that quick, maybe temper. But when the mind works that quickly, you can also grasp concepts really well.
And when we think about balance, I'm not just talking about physical balance.
Oh, really?
No, there's a balance between the things you're talking about, the fire and the different energies.
Yeah.
That they're all good. It's just when things get out of
balance, out of balance.
When you
yes.
have too much of one, and that's another thing that you learn about. So many different ways. There's one of the terms I really don't like that you'll see in a lot of things is the full expression of the pose.
Okay, you don't like that, huh?
I do not like that because
I say that sometimes.
Say the full expression of the pose is for that person in that body taking that picture. And if you're in your mindset like, oh, I can never do the full expression of the pose.
Right.
You're doing your full expression of the pose, what's best for you. And the main things that I want out of yoga, the physical part of it, I want to feel focused, fit, and free. When you start to feel some freedom, whether or not you look like that perfect tree, doesn't matter. If you're focused, and the fitness comes with it, because that's, you're going to get strength, you're going to get balance.
Sure, and you're feeling it, yes.
And you're feeling it, and you're focused on it. That's where the mindfulness all comes in. It's that feeling of freedom when you finally let go, and it's like, no, I don't have to look like the picture in the magazine.
Okay.
One of the things too, we mentioned about, I like so much having the idea of two people, because you're obviously not the same. And Judi is way more of a free spirit than I am.
Yes, I am.
That's a good thing. I am way more of a planner, not spontaneous about most things. I'm flexible, and I don't mean physically flexible. I'm very flexible about changing things, but I still always have to have a plan.
I said before, I've done like about a dozen teacher trainings, and one thing that Laurie and I have talked about is that one of the things I don't think I do very well in a teacher training is always like administering homework and organizing it and things like that. And Laurie's very good at that, and a lot of people do want that. They want some extra direction. If you're only doing the yoga immersion, you don't have requirements, but we're still going to give you some homework and some maybe little quizzes, like fun things, but things to help direct your energy so that you're getting the most that you can out of the information you've been given. So, we've got the benefit of having somebody that's very organized with that, whereas, like I said, I'm the free spirit that flits in. And so I'm really excited about working with Laurie on this, because I know that she's bringing some strengths to the program that are probably my areas that are less developed. And I can bring the experience of 12 years of teaching teacher trainings to this. And we're hoping that you're going to join us.